Hi, welcome back. Troy Rushton from Name Brokers, and I'm joined by my colleague out of the US, Alan Hack. Alan, how's the week been?
It's been great. Starting off very active, very busy. It's good to see you as always, and I'm looking forward to this topic this evening.
Nice. Look, I'm heading to the snow next week, so I'm all excited, but I'm back in Asia in the nice warm weather. Now, 5 minutes with Alan and Troy. This week's challenge, Mr. Hack, is let's talk about, vision being connected to value. Often when we talk to people, potential buyers, that's always the question that we pose. So what's your thoughts on that?
This is a really interesting topic, Troy, that I've been thinking about working with and speaking to buyers and sellers of domain names for the last 17 years. My belief is that the value of a domain name is always intimately connected to the vision of a prospective buyer, their intended use of that domain name, and their confidence and ability in executing on that vision as it relates to that domain name. Because one of the big issues that comes up all the time is price. Why is a domain name cost this much? Or why has the seller set this price? Or how did the seller get to this price? Or why is the price so high? Or why isn't it this? And those questions often come from buyers. And what I say to buyers is, you're asking the wrong questions. It's very, very simple when it comes to the pricing of a domain name. The price of a domain name is simply set by the seller. They own the domain name asset, and it's their right and privilege to put whatever price they want on the domain. And it literally could be anywhere from $100 to several $1,000,000. So sellers set the price. So what a buyer needs to really focus on is, how does that price relate to the vision they have for the domain name and the confidence in their ability to execute on that vision. Let's take a price and an example of, value and vision. So let's say someone sets a price of $100,000 for a descriptive generic category defining domain, and those domains often are well into the six figures. But for this example, let's just say a round number of $100,000. So the seller has set that price on a domain name. What the buyer needs to look at is say, okay, well, how are we going to use this domain name, and what can this domain name really do for us? Well, oftentimes people recognize that domain names help increase sales, decrease marketing costs, enhance brand awareness, brand growth. So when they look at how they're going to specifically use that name in commerce, they have to ask themselves this question. Let's say over the next 5 to 10 years, can we imagine generating, through a combination of increased sales, decreased marketing costs, enhanced brand awareness, brand growth, defensive purposes, keeping the domain out of the hands of a competitor, can we imagine generating over the next 5 years at least $20,000 a year, or over the next 10 years at least $10,000 a year by strategically leveraging and positioning this domain name? If the answer to those questions is yes, then it's literally very important for them to strongly consider acquiring the domain name, because they've looked ahead, they've envisioned how they will be using the domain name, they've envisioned their ability to execute on that plan, and they've kind of worked back that amortization, saying, okay, well, if it's a $100,000 purchase price, and we can imagine generating at least $10,000 to $20,000 a year through these, by strategically positioning this domain, it makes good sense for us to acquire the domain name at that asking price. So the focus is taken off of all the questions about why it's priced a certain way, and it's put back on the vision of that buyer. And I always say to buyers, when you focus on your vision and your confidence in your ability to execute on that vision, and then match that up against the price that the domain owner is asking, and the two match, buy the domain name. If they don't buy the domain name. So it's very simple. This concept is values connected to vision. Does that help explain what
Makes a lot of sense. I guess, sellers can sometimes, I guess, have an inflated perspective, because, it's an asset, unlike a 3-bedroom brick and tile home where there's many examples. Domain names are very unique. So I guess, people looking to buy a name, as you say, they've just got to get the vision and match the price, or I guess they can always make an offer that reflects the vision that they've got for the name.
Exactly. They can always negotiate,
Yeah.
but again, when the focus is always, I've talked to so many buyers of domain names, and their focus is always trying to figure out why a party priced a domain a certain way.
Yeah.
What I say is accept that it's priced this way and come back to
work backwards. That makes a lot of sense. All right, perfect. In under 5 minutes, you've ticked it off. Now, next episode, we're going to talk about why use a broker or a third party to help you negotiate a transaction. So I look forward to talking with you about that more, Alan.
Okay, look forward to it, Troy.
Right.
Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Bye for now.
Bye.